What's happening? Everybody stay calm.
What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm!
Hello there, and yes, we got our February Nintendo Direct. So be sure to leave a like, subscribe and press that notification bell, as we're going for 2023 likes for the first Direct of the year and 333,333 subscribers by May 12th. Either way, let's begin with the one and only 20th Zelda game, Tears of the Kingdom, and then let's end with the Mario potential and some other games for this year. Ironically, despite starting the video with Zelda, I believe Tears of the Kingdom will be the last we see in the Direct. The reason to believe so is that is exactly what the Zelda team has done thus far every time they have shown anything of the game, apart from the delay in 2022, naturally. In the Triforce of E3 2019, 2021 and September 2022 Directs, the game has been the one last thing. So if there's one thing we need entering this Nintendo Direct, then it is patience. Nintendo will not have most viewers close the window and start making analysis videos before the presentation has even properly started. None of that. Zelda is key, but that is also why it is being saved for the end of the show. But what could we see of the game this time? Not as much as some might be expecting, as we have to remember that we still have months left until the release, and with it, the game will show up on a number of different occasions in the near future. PAX East is one, a potential Zelda Direct in April is another, all making up the main Triforce of Tears of the Kingdom appearances prior to its release on May 12th. And the Triforce of Power, as we have detailed in past videos, is this Direct, with a big story trailer. And when I say big, think 3 minutes of length rather than the 90 seconds we have had so far, so 100% longer than up to now, and with it, with 100% more to cover. Joking aside, this is likely to be different to what we have seen in what turned out to be the non-release years, and it is clear that in this context we'll be talking about it before 2023 and after 2023 in the course of Zelda and its marketing. And this trailer might be the first serious confidence boost that will diminish all concerned souls that this is just an expansion to Breath of the Wild disguised as a sequel. And truth to be told, you have been in the right to not be over the moon yet, since we are less than 100 days away and still we know little to nothing about this game. We really need a proper trailer with voice acting and a lot of footage of places we haven't seen and with tools and gameplays that were simply not present in 2017. That also includes seeing more of Princess Zelda and Ganondorf, or at least 1 or 2 characters we've seen before, along with 1 or 2 brand new characters. At the same time, I also want to highlight that up to the final 3 months, we were unlikely to see much outside the starting areas or existing surface locations. Why has this been the case? As we also saw minimal footage from outside the Great Plateau when it came to Breath of the Wild's marketing until the final 3 months prior to release. In other words, Zelda is going to be present in this presentation, and if it isn't, then we should get seriously concerned whether we are in for another delay, which I doubt at this point as we have received its final age rating in the US, E10 and up, along with the actual release date and box art. The game is coming out May 12th. The only question we need to focus on for this presentation is how much more we could see of this game apart from a trailer. Now, it would be tempting to say that totally, yes, we will get a big gameplay deep dive right after the presentation is over, but the February Directs don't seem to be that type of show. On top of that, we have PAX East next month with Tears of the Kingdom as Nintendo's big game coming out a little over 1.5 months later. It just feels like a more fitting stage. But if we get some gameplay beside a trailer in this Direct, then I will definitely welcome it. Make sure to use said footage in upcoming videos. Since we have been holding back a lot of topical Zelda videos for this moment, when we go from a marketing cycle of at best good news once a year to new Tears of the Kingdom updates every month, and eventually also weeks and days, the closer we get to Friday, May 12th. Mark my words, this Nintendo Direct is just the beginning for the final marketing cycle of the game that will once again surpass expectations, as the Zelda team has been altering or perfecting what is already there and adding a lot of new areas, at the very least above and likely also some below the surface. Well, that covers Zelda pretty well. It will be a big part of the ending of the Direct. Before that grand final, we're certain to see a number of new trailers of games already announced and reveals of those unannounced. So let's get the games we know about out of the way quickly first. Kirby Return to Dreamland Deluxe and Octopath Traveler 2 final trailers prior to release, as they are both out on Friday, February 24th. We're also likely to see another trailer for Bayonetta Origins out next month, and potentially a proper teaser trailer with more than just title reveal for Pikmin 4. There was little to nothing to cover when it came to that reveal, which is very similar to what we have seen of Metroid Prime 4 in the past. A slight taste of spring and blooming season, so here we are hoping that we get to see more of the game. Perhaps even get a release date if this is a spring or summer game. Finally, before we move over to the brand new announcements and reveals of games that were not in our lineup video in December, I have to mention Hollow Knight Silksong as it is coming out this year. That is why it was at the Xbox Bethesda conference in June 2022, as all games there were coming out the next 12 months. But at the same time, we're yet to see any trailer in the Nintendo Direct. Now, what is likely to be revealed for the first time here? Metroid Prime Remake? It is definitely a possibility, but as we highlighted in our previous upload, Metroid likes to be revealed at E3. I still remember fondly when Metroid Prime 4 was revealed in 2017, but the LA Expo has been reused for reveals for pretty much every Metroid games, apart from Metroid Prime 4 as well. And it doesn't matter if it is remakes, as we saw in the case of Metroid Samus Returns in 2017, or brand new games, as we saw with Metroid Dread, which solidified everything in 2021. Naturally, since we mentioned the games of Mercury Steam and the Retro Studios, we have to mention the recent report and rumor regarding Mercury Steam's work on a new game. But personally, I believe that it is way too soon for that yet, seeing that 4 years separated Metroid Samus Returns from Dread. In other words, that game is probably still 2 to 3 years away and could even end up on the successor of the Nintendo Switch. Some even think that Retro's Metroid Prime 4 could end up on said system, though I believe that it will also come out on the Nintendo Switch, just as Nintendo promised in 2017 and again in January 2019 and at E3 2021. Either way, let's not waste any more time or space, seeing that we still have some games to cover. And sadly, I don't think we'll see anything Metroid in this Direct, as we're already likely to see Zelda and at least one Mario game, that being the Mario Game of the Year, in this presentation. The big question, however, is what it will be. The dream is that with Super Nintendo World and the Mario movie premiere, we finally get a new 3D Mario game. After all, the reveal of Super Mario Odyssey was over 6 years ago, and the timing for a new reveal just seems to be perfect. But is this the time and presentation format for such a reveal? There is my take. I think we could see the wait for a new Mario game reveal come to an end, seeing that this could just be a teaser to set the stage for a far bigger presence for Mario, and I do think if the reveal is happening in this presentation in February, then it could be packed with the Mario trio of Super Nintendo World, the Mario movie, and whatever game they decide to reveal. Movie tie-in, Super Mario Odyssey 2, or maybe a 2D Mario that will probably not have the same hype value, but still end up being really good on the release date. The only fear I'm sitting with is that we could end up getting movie-related content and even kingdoms from the movie, but as paid DLC expansion to Super Mario Odyssey instead of a new game. Yes, nearly 6 years after the game came out, but then again, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe got paid DLC nearly 5 years after its release, and well, far more years when we also count Mario Kart 8 with its paid DLC on the Wii U. Since we brought up Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass, I'm pretty sure that we will also get a brief trailer about Wave 4 coming out in March, seeing that the first wave came out in the same month last year, and all 6 waves are to be out by the end of December 2023. That covers Mario Kart, so back to Mario. Don't expect much more than a first teaser trailer if we get a new game, one which doesn't show much of the game, and probably not even the main mechanic as Cappy's function and hence reveal was in 2017 save for the E3 spotlight, and the subsequent New Donk City booth and demo. Now then, we got the original trio covered, but I think I forgot about Donkey Kong, which is the other alternative if we don't get a Mario game. Other than DK, are there any other arcade or NES or SNES Nintendo classics that I have forgotten about that might get a new title or re-release announced in this February Direct? Yes, Kid Icarus Uprising, as we have brought up a number of times during our past discussions with Roger Space. Personally, I would love a new game in this franchise, but I will understand if they Miitopia this game to the Switch first, since it might be just another test before we hopefully one day also get Ocarina of Time 3D and Majora's Mask 3D on a Nintendo HD system. Hopefully in 2024 or in that area, seeing that the Zelda release of this year is no doubt Tears of the Kingdom. Other than that, we might see some third-party reveals for the Switch, though I don't expect too much here, seeing that we are entering the late cycle of the Switch after completing the early between 2017 and 2019 and mid between 2020 and 2022. Slowly but surely, we're moving towards the end of the Switch. But before we get there, we're likely to still see a lot of reveals for the Switch, in Directs this year, and likely also in most of 2024. And that is pretty much it. There will naturally be some surprises that we didn't predict here, but as it stands, I think we have covered the most crucial details, minus Advance Wars, which we hope will get a release following the release of GoldenEye 007 Nintendo Switch Online, which is set in a country I will not mention. What do you predict in this Direct? Sound off in the comment section down below. If you haven't already, then be sure to leave a like, subscribe and press the notification bell to help the channel grow and make us working on these videos happy. Anyway, I will see you in our live stream of the Nintendo Direct. A big thanks to all our patreon.com/ComeAround patrons, and in particular, Royal Producer Charles Shash. You rock, and please enjoy one or both of these two awesome videos.